Disappointed 2 Saturdays in a row at home against a real good team, and both times headed into the last media timeout. The game's in the balance, and we're playing pretty good, and both times we just get out-toughed coming down the stretch, and that's disappointing.
Frank, obviously pretty hard to get the ball in the paint in the first half. That seemed to change in the second half. Was it just the foul trouble that made them back off, or were you guys running something a little different?
They're good defensively. You don't go into Kansas and win by 15 or whatever they won because you got lucky. You know, they're a good defensive team, and teams know that we're going to throw it to Chris, and we continue to try to be creative with finding different ways to get the ball in there. I thought we did a better job of that in the second half than the first half, but their athleticism and toughness bothered us early, and it bothered us late, and that was the difference. I mean, their point guard just didn't let our point guards drive, and he drove it and scored 31, and we got 0.
Frank, you kind of alluded to this already, but in the last 3 minutes specifically, 3.5, what was really the biggest difference?
Toughness. We make a 3 to put us up 4, I want to say, and we go down, and Frank Booker's guarding number 12, Evans, and just sit down and guard. Evans is coming at us every play because he's not going to allow his team to lose. Booker standing there flat-footed like he was guarding me. And Evans drove him, and he fouled him. So now you put an unbelievable free throw shooter at the line in an uncontested play. Then we got them scrambling again. They take a shot. We can't come up with a defensive rebound. They get an offensive rebound. And then offensively, we came down and had that bad turnover that led to the intentional foul. Just you got to be tougher than that. Those are toughness plays. Getting a rebound's a toughness play. Being in a stance, that's a toughness play. Being able to pass the ball to an open guy, and if you don't pass it, not turning it over, that's a toughness play. We just couldn't close it out. Just like Tennessee, same thing. Tennessee and them are very similar teams, very, very similar teams. Lamont Turner came in here, didn't let them lose, and old boy Evans came in here and didn't let them lose.
Coach, when things are starting to swing like that in the last 4 minutes and they go on that 13-2 run, aside from toughness, what were some of the other messages you were telling your guys during those timeouts?
We came out of timeouts and we drew up 2 different things we were trying to run coming down the stretch there, and both times the guys off the ball executed, the guys with the ball went to the wrong place. And that's on me, For us not to be able to execute at the end of a game, that's on me. And I obviously got to do a better job there. But it's something, it wasn't like some play I just drew up. It's something we practice, something we rehearse, and we just didn't. I can't answer why. And that was my biggest thing is last couple of years I've been used to calling a timeout at the end of a game and being able to execute and try and get the shot we were trying to get. That continues to be with teams that present resistance defensively, that continues to give us problems.
Frank, this was a big 4-game stretch against 4 ranked opponents. You win 2, you lose 2, you're in all 4 games. Just what things have you learned maybe about your team in these last 2 weeks you can use going forward? That
we're pretty close to becoming a good team. We're not there yet. We're close. But we better figure out what to do, And same thing, Myers misses 2 free throws. I don't know how much time there was on the clock when he misses 2 free throws. You can't have empty possessions coming down the stretch. Those things that I've got to figure out a way of what I want to run so we don't continue to have these bad 3 minutes against teams that defend like Tennessee, like Texas Tech. teams that get after us and just really, really hound us and are athletic, we have to be able to run something so we don't, so we can score a basket in the last 3 minutes, give ourselves a chance to win.
Frank, Justin, and Chris were just in here, and they said they thought you guys were making progress and improving by the week. Do you see that?
Oh, yeah. We just played, like I said, top 15 team in the country that went into Kansas and won comfortably by 14 or 15. I coach at Kansas. In my 10 years as a head coach, I've never seen anyone go in there and beat them like that. They're upperclassmen ridden. We got first-year guys. These got guys that have been together for a while, and they just like Tennessee, they got older guys. So when the game's in the balance, Evans has seen everything. He's been in every moment you can be in as a player. He knows what he's going to do. We don't have guys that understand that yet, but we have made progress. We're so much better than we were back in December. It's not even funny, but we're not there yet. We gotta, we've let 2 unbelievable opportunities slip out of our hands here in the last 7 days.
Frank, in terms of getting better, what about from your freshmen? Both Felipe and Justin had big plays for you today. Felipe obviously had to come in there and play some big minutes when Mike went out. What did you see kind of from those two specifically, their growth and what they've kind of gathered here these last couple of weeks?
Yeah, Justin's started coming in the gym and spending time working at things again, not just showing up to practice. That's the biggest mistake freshmen make, is that when the season starts getting long, because they come in and practice for 2 hours, they think that that's good enough. And you want to be a good player, that's not the way it works. And we can sit here and argue about time demands and all that all you want. That's not the way it works if you want to be a good player. 2 hours a day is not good enough, but he's learned that now. Felipe, the athleticism and the speed of SEC basketball impacted him, not in a good way. And he got a little tentative. And the one thing you can't do is be tentative, because he can shoot, he can pass, and when you're on film, one of the reasons I went zone and it helped us was because I knew if I went man, they were going to isolate him and go at him off the dribble. He's got to get better there. So, when the more people get you on film, the harder it becomes as a player. And he's learning that. But the ball's gone in the basket for him the last couple games, and I think it's given him a little life again, so hopefully he can keep building on that.
Frank, you just stated about Justin needing to make progress in various things, but what about his poise during games, and is that something you kind of expected coming in? How has that been?
He's when he picked up his 4th foul, once again, a bad foul. Those are bad fouls. It's just reaching, but that hurts us. The reason he plays is because of what you said. There's a consistency with his poise, with his decision-making. He tends to get to the right place more times than not, offensively and defensively. And that's why he's an important player for us. And now he's playing with a little more life again, and that's helping us become a better team. Not having him on the floor, when we had a chance to maybe separate the game a little bit, we went up 5, I want to say. That's when he was on the bench. When he came to the bench, we had bad defensive possessions because getting him off the floor we're not as good defensively. And if he hadn't picked up that foul, maybe a 5-point game maybe becomes 8 or whatever. But it just wasn't meant to be.